Welcome to your daily quotes. Today, I have a story about one man's quiet dedication and the impact of seemingly small actions. It's a reminder that even when no one is watching, what you do matters. Let's dive in. In a small mountain village, there was an old lighthouse, not near the sea, but perched high above a dangerous valley road. The road was known for its thick fog, sharp turns, and the accidents that often happened when travelers lost their way at night. The man responsible for the lighthouse was Elias, an older gentleman who had lived in the village his entire life. Every evening, Elias climbed the steep, rocky path to the lighthouse. His task was simple: light the lamp that warned travelers of danger and helped them find their way through the valley. For years, Elias had kept this routine. Rain or shine, summer or winter, he never missed a night, but to many villagers, he was just a quiet man doing an old-fashioned job that didn't seem very important. One evening, a boy from the village decided to follow Elias up the hill. The boy had always been curious about why Elias worked so hard at something that didn't seem to matter. "Mr. Elias," the boy said as they reached the lighthouse, "why do you climb this hill every single day to light the lantern? No one even notices what you're doing." Elias paused, looking out over the dark valley below. Then he turned to the boy with a kind smile. "Years ago, my wife and I were driving through this very valley on a night much like this. The fog was thick, and we couldn't see the road ahead. We were scared, unsure of where to go. But then we saw the light from this lighthouse. It guided us safely here. That light saved our lives, and I've never forgotten it." The boy frowned. "But what if no one is out there tonight? What if your light doesn't help anyone?" Elias chuckled softly. "That's the thing about light. It doesn't always need to be seen right away to have a purpose. Maybe no one needs it tonight, but someone will need it someday. And when they do, I want it to be here for them." That night, a violent storm swept through the valley. The wind howled, rain lashed against the windows, and thunder echoed through the hills. Despite the storm, Elias climbed back up to the lighthouse to keep the flame alive. Far below, a young couple driving through the valley struggled to see through the heavy rain. Their car skidded dangerously on the wet road. The man gripped the steering wheel tightly, trying to stay calm. "I can't see a thing," he muttered. Just then, the woman spotted a faint glow through the fog. "Look up there, it's a light. That must be the lighthouse. If we follow it, we can make it through." The couple cautiously followed the light, navigating the twisting road until they finally reached the safety of the village. Exhausted but relieved, they decided to find the person who had kept the light burning. The next morning, the couple asked around and were directed to Elias' small cottage. When they knocked on the door, Elias greeted them with a warm smile. "You're the one who keeps the lighthouse burning, aren't you?" the woman asked. "I am," Elias replied. "You saved us last night," the man said. "We would have been lost or worse if it weren't for that light." Elias nodded humbly. "I didn't save you," he said. "You saved yourselves by choosing to follow the light. I just made sure it was there when you needed it." The boy who had questioned Elias watched this exchange quietly, realizing for the first time how much Elias' work mattered. From that day forward, he began helping Elias with the lantern, learning how to tend the flame and carry on the tradition. Years later, when Elias could no longer climb the hill, the boy, now a grown man, took over as the lighthouse keeper. He remembered Elias' words every time he lit the lantern. "You may never see the difference you make, but that doesn't mean it isn't there. Keep your light shining. Someone out there is counting on it." And that's the story of Elias, the humble lantern keeper who taught us the power of quiet dedication. Thank you for listening today. I hope this story reminds you that your actions, no matter how small or unnoticed they seem, can make a difference in someone's life.